What if I told you that the most dangerous thing in your home isn't the chemicals under your sink, but the hard, healthy liquid sitting right on your kitchen counter? You see it every time you walk into a Walmart, a Costco, or a Kroger. Rows upon rows of giant, plastic jugs filled with a clear, golden liquid. Brands like Wesson, Crisco, Mazola, and Bertolli have become household names, trusted by generations of Americans. We've been conditioned to believe that these vegetable oils are the gold standard for cardiovascular health. But today, I'm going to reveal a truth that the billion-dollar industrial food complex has spent millions of dollars to hide from you. Especially if you are an American senior over the age of 60, you are the primary target of a massive, decades-long biological where butter was demonized and lard was called a clogger of arteries. In their place, we were given clean, plant-based alternatives. But here is the reality that will chill you to the bone. These liquids are not vegetable oils at all. You cannot squeeze a broccoli or a carrot and get oil. These are industrial seed oils, byproducts of the massive soybean, corn, and rapeseed industries. They were originally designed to lubricate machinery, not human cells. If you've noticed your joints aching more than they should, if your memory isn't as sharp as it used to be, or if your doctor is constantly worried about your inflammation markers, the culprit might be hiding in your frying pan. Today, we aren't just looking at labels. We are going deep inside the rusted, chemical-choked factories where these oils are born. We are going to look at the brands you buy every week and show you why that great deal at the grocery store might be the most expensive mistake you'll ever make for your health. Stick with me, because once you see what's actually inside that bottle of great value canola oil or Wesson corn oil, you will never look at a fried egg the same way again. We are pulling back the curtain on the silent killer in the American pantry, and we're starting right now. To truly understand why a bottle of Mazola corn oil or Crisco vegetable oil is so toxic, we have to look past the beautiful labels of sun-drenched fields and go inside the actual production facilities. This is where the heart-healthy lie begins. Most Americans assume these oils are made like olive oil, pressed gently to release their natural juices. But industrial seed oils are not pressed. They are manufactured through a violent, multi-stage chemical process that would make your stomach turn if you saw it in person. Industrial complex filled with rusted pipes, leaking vats, and the overwhelming smell of chemicals, not food. It starts with mountains of seeds, corn, soybeans, or rape seeds. These seeds are often the lowest quality, leftovers from other industries, and they are stored in giant hamchua where mold and pesticides run rampant. Because these seeds are naturally dry, the factory has to use brute force to extract the fat. They start by heating the seeds to extreme temperatures, often exceeding 400 degrees. This heat is so intense that it destroys any natural antioxidants and turns the fragile omega-6 fatty acids rancid before they even leave the first machine. But heat isn't enough to get every last drop of profit. This is where the real horror begins. The crushed, blackened seeds are then bathed in a chemical solvent called hexane. Now, hexane isn't something you'd ever want near your dinner table. It is a neurotoxic byproduct of gasoline refining. The seeds sit in this gasoline bath to strip away every bit of oil. What emerges from this process is a dark, cloudy, foul-smelling sludge that looks more like motor oil than something you'd put on a salad. If you saw the oil at this stage, it would be a deep, muddy brown or even gray, and the smell would literally make you gag. It is so repulsive that it cannot become that clear, golden liquid you see at Walmart or Costco. They have to clean it. They use sodium hydroxide, a caustic soda used in drain cleaners, to strip away the wax. Then, they use acid to bleach the oil, removing the dark, muddy colors. But the worst part is the smell. Even after bleaching, the oil still stinks like old fish and chemicals because it is already oxidized and rotten. To fix this, the factory performs deodorization. They blast the oil with high-pressure steam at nearly 500 degrees to literally cook out the stench. By the time it's poured into those plastic Wesson or pure Wesson jugs, the oil is a zombie food. It is molecularly broken, stripped of all life, and loaded with chemical residues. You aren't buying vegetable oil. You are buying a deodorized, bleached, gasoline-extracted industrial byproduct that was never meant to enter a human body, especially one that has been working hard for over 60 years. The chemical nightmare doesn't end when the oil leaves the factory. That is just where the destruction of your health begins. When you consume oils like canola, soybean, or corn oil, you are introducing a highly unstable molecule into your system, omega-6 linoleic acid. In its natural form, omega-6 is fine, but the industrial versions found in brands like Mazola or Wesson are already oxidized before they even hit your frying pan. For a senior over 60, your body's ability to neutralize these free radicals has naturally declined. When these rancid fats enter your bloodstream, they don't just sit there. They integrate themselves into your cell membranes. You are literally building your body out of rusted, industrial fat. This creates a state of permanent, low-grade inflammation, the kind of inflammation that doctors call the silent killer. The human brain is the fattiest organ in the body, made of nearly 60% fat. It requires high-quality, stable fats to maintain the protective coating of your neurons, known as the myelin sheath. When you feed your brain the broken, oxidized fats from processed seed oils, you are essentially creating short circuits in your neural network. This is why researchers are now seeing a staggering correlation between high seed oil consumption and the epidemic of Alzheimer's and dementia across the United States. It is a slow, silent erosion of your memories and your personality. If you've been feeling that persistent brain fog, or if you find yourself struggling to recall words that used to come easily, you need to look at what you're cooking with. You aren't just getting old. You might be starving your brain of the clean fuel it needs to function. The daily aches and pains that we've been told to accept as a normal part of aging. But chronic joint pain and arthritis are not just wear and tear. They are inflammatory conditions. These toxic oils trigger the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines, chemicals that tell your immune system to attack your own tissues. Every time you eat a meal cooked in Crisco or flavored with great value vegetable oil, you are fueling the fire in your knees, your hips, and your hands. This inflammation also targets your cardiovascular system. For years, we were told these oils lower cholesterol. And while they might lower your total number, they do so by causing the cholesterol you do have to oxidize. Oxidized cholesterol is the only kind that actually sticks to your artery walls and creates plaque. By following the heart-healthy advice of the last 40 years, many Americans have unwittingly been accelerating the very heart disease they were trying to avoid. Your body is a masterpiece of biological engineering, but it cannot run on gasoline-extracted sludge. It is time to stop the betrayal of your cells. If you think you're safe just because you don't buy the giant jugs of Wesson or Mazola, think again. The American supermarket is a minefield, and industrial seed oils are the primary ingredient in nearly every processed food on the shelf. These companies don't just sell you the oil directly, they hide it in products that you've been told are healthy, natural, or essential for your diet. Let's take a walk down the aisles of your local Safeway, Publix, or Whole Foods and look at the labels of the brands you trust. Let's look at the heart-healthy spreads. For decades, brands like Smart Balance, Earth Balance, and I can't believe it's not butter have marketed themselves as the better alternative to natural butter. But look closer at the ingredients. What is the very first thing listed? Usually, it's a blend of soybean, canola, and palm oils. They add a little bit of olive oil or flaxseed to the label to make it look virtuous, but the bulk of that tub is the same industrial sludge we saw in the factory. They've replaced a single ingredient food, butter, with a laboratory experiment designed to sit on a shelf for years without spoiling. Next, move to the salad dressing aisle. This is one of the biggest deceptions in the store. You might buy a bottle of Ken's Steakhouse, Wishbone, or even Newman's Own thinking you're getting a healthy addition to your greens. But even the olive oil vinaigrettes are often a fraud. Read the back of a bottle of Hidden Valley Ranch or Kraft Italian. You will find that the primary oil isn't olive oil at all. It's cheap, inflammatory soybean or canola oil. They use just enough olive oil to put it on the front of the bottle for marketing, while the rest is a toxic trigger for your joint pain and brain fog. Even the bread aisle isn't safe. From Wonder Bread to Sara Lee and even many artisan brands at Crisco, seed oils are used to give bread that soft, squishy texture and an unnaturally long shelf life. When you toast that bread in the morning, you are heating those unstable oils yet again, accelerating the oxidation process before it even enters your body. And don't forget the healthy snacking section. Brands like Skinny Pop, Veggie Straws, and even Stacy's pita chips often use sunflower or safflower oil. While these sound natural, they are high linoleic oils that have been processed at high heat and are just as damaging to your cellular health as the cheap supermarket minefield. The industrial food complex has made it almost impossible to avoid these toxins unless you become a detective. They rely on your brand loyalty. They rely on the fact that you've been buying Hellmann's mayonnaise, which is almost entirely soybean oil, for 40 years. They don't want you to realize that these household names are contributing to the decline of your health in your golden years. It is time to stop looking at the pretty pictures on the front and start reading the fine print on the back. Your life, your memory, and your mobility depend on your ability to spot these hidden poisons before they reach your checkout cart. Now that we have exposed the supermarket minefield and the chemical reality of the brands you've trusted for years, you might feel overwhelmed. You might feel like there is nothing left to eat. But I want to give you a message of hope. Your body is a miracle of biological resilience. Even after decades of consuming industrial seed oils from Wesson, Mazola, or Crisco, your cells can begin to repair themselves the moment you stop the influx of toxins. This is your roadmap to taking back your health in your golden years. It's time to perform a pantry purge. Tonight, I want you to go into your kitchen with a trash bag. This isn't about being wasteful, it's about removing a biohazard from your home. Look at every label. If you see soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower, or safflower oil, toss it. Do not donate it to a food bank. We don't want to pass this poison on to anyone else. Throw away the Hellmann's, the Hidden Valley Ranch, and the Smart Balance. These are not food, they are obstacles to your longevity. Once your kitchen is clear, we go back to basics. We go back to the fats that humans have thrived on for thousands of years before the Industrial Revolution. Your morning eggs or your Sunday roast. You need stable fats that don't oxidize. Your new best friends are grass-fed tallow, lard, and ghee. If you prefer plant-based options for high heat, refined coconut oil is an excellent, stable choice. These fats are molecularly saturated, meaning they have no open bonds for oxygen to attack. They won't turn into rust inside your arteries. For your salads and low-heat sautéing, choose extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. But be a smart shopper. Look for brands like California Olive Ranch or Chosen Foods, which are widely recognized in the US for their purity. Avoid any bottle that doesn't specify it is 100% pure. If it says blend, it's a trap. As you make this transition, you will notice something remarkable. Within the first 30 days, the brain fog often begins to lift. The persistent ache in your knees and lower back might start to dull as your systemic inflammation levels drop. Your energy will become more stable because your cells are finally getting the clean fuel they were designed to burn. You've worked your entire life to reach this stage, to enjoy your retirement, your grandchildren, and your hobbies. Don't let a cheap, industrial byproduct steal those moments from you. You aren't just changing your oil, you are changing your destiny. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the truth behind the American pantry. If this video opened your eyes, please hit the like button and share it with your friends at the community center or your family on Facebook. Word of mouth is the only way we beat the billion-dollar marketing machines of the food industry. Subscribe to Tips for Senior for more no-nonsense advice on how to live your best, healthiest life after 60. I'm proud of you for taking this step. Throw out the poison, bring back the real food, and I will see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay informed, and take care of your heart.